What is happening, guys? Right, let's continue on with this ST180, getting it ready for the track again. So, we've made a few modifications to it, and now the next thing that I want to start looking at is trying to reduce a bit of weight in the car. Now, the original plan with this was just to a few performance upgrades, a few chassis upgrades, and we're pretty much just going to leave the interior as it was. Well, having driven it around Mallory, those seats offer you no support whatsoever. You're sliding all over the place. So they've got to go. If we're taking the seats out, we might as well just try and take a load of other stuff out and shed some weight. So this car is pretty much stock. There's a few camera bits inside, but there's nothing, no massive extra weight. Obviously the wheels are different, but it's not really relevant. So this car is absolutely bone stock, and this car weighs 1,180 kilos as it sits. 1,180 kilos is the starting point of this car. I have absolutely no idea how much we're going to get out of it. I'd like to get it down somewhere near a ton. It'd be amazing if we can get it to a ton. I don't think we're going to get anywhere underneath a ton, but somewhere near a ton, I'll be happy. Answers on a postcard, leave us a comment. What do you think we'll end up getting this car down to? With the interior out, pair of bucket seats in it, no cage yet because I can't really afford one. The end plan is probably to put a cage in it, but stripped interior with a pair of bucket seats in it. What do you think we'll get down to? Right, let's go and get it in the workshop, and we'll make a start taking the interior out of this. So it is back up in the unit, and I think the first thing we're going to do, what makes sense, is we'll get all the seats out and then look at what is next. I really don't know. Let's get some tools and we'll just start ripping things out. Just a little side note as well. If anyone in the Midlands area needs a mechanic, Lux Automotive, the dealer alternative, highly recommended. I've used them myself on my wife's car when I've not had the time to look at it. Great guys, really honest, use genuine parts. Why waste your time taking your car to a dealer when these guys will come and do it for you on your drive? I'll put a link in the description to them. Hit them up if you're in the Midlands area and you need a mechanic. Apparently I didn't bother pressing record when I was removing the seats. Seats are now out, so we're going to continue on trying to get some of these interior panels out. There is the majority of the interior: seats, carpets, parcel shelf, headliner, lower dash, all that jazz. And that is what the inside of the car is now looking like. Door cards off that side, not done this side. But all of the back headliners out, the old lot. We've got cable tie these out of the way. Still got a bit more of the dash to take out. And that door card. So, seeing as we've removed the interior, and Richard's nicely modelling the seats sat up there, what we're going to put in it? Well, the old trusty Facebook Marketplace. I was flicking through there every morning, as I do when I'm doing a project. I'm looking for something, and I happened upon these. So I've got a pair of Sparco Sprint seats. Now these, I think, are from 2002, so they're quite an old. They're steel frame, they're not fiberglass, but they're actually really comfortable. We've got them with a side mount and some brackets, because they're not side mount seats, they're under mounts, but brackets and the side mount brackets. So we've just got to make them fit the car. Now we've got two. You'll notice there's only one there. The reason for that, we've already got one fitted. So there is one mounted in the car. Now all I've done, I've got some 6mm thick steel bar, and we've made a spacer down here because the floor, or the mounts are not level. Bolted it in the original hole at the front, bolted it in the original hole at the back with a spacer in it, and then we've bolted these brackets down to that, and they are absolutely solid. But that's only temporary until I get round to buying the actual proper seat bases, because I'd like at least this seat to slide back and forwards, just in case anyone else wants to go out and have a little bit of fun in the car on a track day. But for now, that one's in. We've now got to look at getting that one mounted in there in exactly the same way, which is just going to involve more cutting and whatever, so I won't show you it. I'll get it done and I'll show you when that one's in, and then the next thing we need to look at is sorting out all these wires that are hanging down and try and get rid of some of the airbags to lose a little bit more weight. Right, I'll see you back in a minute when the passenger seat is in. That's both seats bolted in then. I need to trim these down a little bit, but we'll do that when they come out the car, and we're going to clean them up and paint them. Anyway, I've also been round, we've left the interior lighting up here, but I've been round and removed the curtain airbags and tidied all the wiring up, clipped it all up out the way. Same down this side as well. I've also been in and removed the rear seat belts. There was a parking sensors and stuff in it. I've removed all of that lot. And what I'm going to do now, I want to put a harness bar in it. So before we have the cage fitted, which eventually it will have a cage in it, but that's probably not going to be until next year sometime. What I'm going to do is, you've got this plate here and that plate there, which are where the rear seat locked into. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off flush, cut this off flush. And I've been and found a bit of bar, which is nice 50mm with a real thick wall to it. I'm going to cut a bit of that and weld that in between those 2 points that bolts back in the car. That will then act as a harness bar, because at the minute the harnesses are going down to the floor, and I've read that you're likely to do quite a bit of damage if you have an accident, if they go down to the floor and it's pulling on the seat and not just on you. So that's what we're going to do with that. So that's the next job. I'll show you when we're done. So idea with the seats is going to be these eyelets here. I've got one down in here where the original seatbelt mounting was. We've got 4-point harnesses, so we're going to have to drill a hole in the tunnel here, put a spreader plate the other side to get the other one to mount for it there. And then this bar is going to be where the rears will go to. So I've cut them plates, the bars off the plates, both sides, ground them off, cut this bar to the correct length. So now I just need to nip this out, tidy the ends up, get a bit of this coating off of the ends, and then we can drop it back in and tack that side in place, try and get it back out of the car, weld it up on the bench, paint it, put it back in. So we're making some real good progress now. Seat brackets here are made, I've tacked the spacer on, and they've now been painted. That seat has got them on as well, so that's that bit done. I've made, I think I showed this already, we made this rear harness bar, which is now fitted in and welded to the car, and we've welded the eyelets on here to pick up the back of the harnesses. Another little thing that we've got to do now is put the eyelets in the front. So this one is in here where the seat belt mounts at the front, and then just there is the one where the other one goes, and we've got to put them, the centre ones, into the tunnel, if you like. So what I've done, you can buy these, but what I've done is some 2mm plate steel, 55 by 55, round on the edge with a captive nut welded on the other side, painted black. We'll weld them in. Now yes, you can buy them, but there's kits out there and all it is a piece of 2mm steel with a nut. So I've made them instead. So Rich has just give me a quick hand, we'll drill these, get these fitted to the car. Then we can start putting the seats back in and start putting the interior back together. There we go then, seats are mounted on the brackets down there, all bolted down to the floor, looking good. We've got the harnesses in as well, which are on the harness bar at the back, doing what they should do. We've got them mounted to the floor there and down to the floor there. So that's those bits in and looking trick. That harness bar doing its job. You never know, it might even add a little bit of rigidity to the back end as well, but yeah, they're in. I'm super happy, they're nice and comfortable. The harnesses are going to give us a lot more support, and that seat is going to support us a lot more around the track now as well. And that are the seats and harnesses fitted into the car. We've stripped all the interior out and tried to save as much weight as we can. It's going to be very loud. It's going to be very, yeah, uncomfortable, I suppose, but I wasn't intended on doing this. I've got a bit carried away, and I just want to be able to go out and enjoy the car. So the seats will make a massive difference, and the interior strip out is saving us weight. So let's go down now. I'm going to go and chuck it on the weighbridge, and we'll see exactly what weight we've saved with removing what we have removed. There's a few other bits I still want to take out, like I want to take the rear wiper out. It doesn't sound a lot, but all these few grams do add up to a bigger saving. But I need to get a bung to replace that so that it doesn't leak. And then eventually I'd like to take the glass out and put Perspex windows in, take all the door cards and the mechanisms out and put track day or race door cards in as well to try and save even more weight, take the rear quarter windows out, the back window out, change it all out. Big thank you to Steve and Sam for selling me the seats. They came out of an absolutely amazing little car. Thanks for showing me around it. I won't say too much about it because I know you won't want it all over the internet. But yeah, thank you very much for selling me the seats. They've gone to a good home and hopefully they're going to mean I can have even more fun out on the track in this little car. But for now, let's go down to the weighbridge and see what this weighs as it sits. There it is on the weighbridge then, and it weighs 1,080 kilos. So that's a saving of about 100 kilos, which is absolutely massive considering it was essentially a free mod. All we've done is remove stuff from the car. We were changing the seats anyway, so it's essentially a free little mod. Hopefully, it's going to make driving this car even better. I cannot wait to get it out on track, but we shall leave that on there then, guys. Not sure what we're going to be doing in the next one, but if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed. So, until next time, guys, enjoy.